What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Got some awesome stuff today. I'm going to talk a little bit about why changing your mindset to change your life just isn't working for you. And this is such a fun topic for me to talk about because it's just so aligned with all the stuff that I do with self-control and nervous system regulation. And it's so prevalent in the clients that I work with. Most people are high achievers. They're go, go, go. And they experience overwhelm, anxiety, burnout, imposter syndrome. A lot of times it can feel like you can't relax, even when, everything's fine around you, right? You've got all the stuff that you've worked so hard to earn and acquire, and yet you still don't feel like you can fully enjoy the moment. The present moment seems like it's unbearable to be in sometimes just because there's all this pressure on you. But at the same time, it's like you can't slow down because you feel like it'll just all come crashing down. And it's like no matter what you accomplish, what goals you achieve, like you're always carrying around this heavy weighted vest that you can never set down and just, yeah. So, what's super common about that when you get into these cycles of, let's see, working hard, burnout, recovery for a little bit, and then getting back on the horse? A lot of times, what I hear a lot of is like, oh, just changing my mindset, right? Positive vibes only, thinking happy thoughts. Um, you know, as some high end influencers would be like, kill your inner bitch. Don't be a pussy. You're always taking this mentality that even no matter how you feel, you can use your mind to overpower your felt sense in your body. And unfortunately, and fortunately, it does work, right? There are ways to do that, right? To override your feelings. But it's not necessarily a long term play that I would suggest for most people. And here's what I mean: the brain is super powerful, right? It's responsible for basically most of our functions. And in acute situations, when let's say we're tired, but we're working out at the gym, it can be helpful to really psych ourselves up and do that extra set or bust out those extra reps or run that extra mile. Or if we have a deadline at work to, you know, do everything to get it done and to complete the project, that can be a really, really strong tool to have on your tool belt for when it's needed. That being said, for a long term strategy, it's like, at least to me, the last thing I want to do is have to psych myself up to just have a good day, right? If we're just using our mind constantly to overpower what's going on with us, it's like that is freaking exhausting, dude. I mean, trust me, I freaking been down that road, which is a big part of why I'm in this work and why this is the case, and why we can't just think our way into feeling better is because the main component to our nervous system, which is the vagus nerve, that runs basically from the bottom of your brain all the way down your body. It basically wanders through all of your organs. Like it's really attached to a lot, basically everything that's important in your body. And that nerve connects your body to your brain. And why is that important? Well, it's responsible for sending signals from your body to your brain and your brain to your body, right? But here's the key that everybody who is just like gung ho on mindset misses: the pathways are not equal. In other words, it's not 50-50. Like the same amount of data doesn't go from brain to body that goes from body to brain. It's not equal. It's very unequal, actually. It's only 20% brain to body versus 80% body to brain. Now, I'm no math whiz, but basic numbers, I can tell which one's bigger, right? Clearly, the 80%. And that 80% is from body to brain. So if you're wondering why you're having a hard time just changing your thoughts to make yourself feel better, or as some influencers or coaches will say, hey, just have a bigger thought than that felt sense of depression or anxiety to think your way out of it. It's like you're fighting a losing battle, right? Not to say that you can't do it, not to say that you can have some success in acute situations, but again, as a long term strategy, if you're constantly utilizing 20% to change 80%, I mean, you tell me, how much energy is that going to take out of you, right? And it's so true with especially with high performers and entrepreneurs, business owners, um, high up CEO, high up employees that have lots of responsibilities, right? Maybe they have hobbies, they want to keep up with their physique, they have kids, they have a relationship, and they're juggling all the things. That takes a lot of energy. So to on top of that be fighting a losing battle, it's like, yeah, no wonder you're stressed out or you're overwhelmed or you're always anxious or you're burnt out. It's because you're not, you haven't developed the tools to recruit that 80% to be on your side, right? So a lot of times we just ignore the 80%, we focus on the 20%, and we wonder, man, why can't I do this? Right? A lot of times it's like, oh, what's wrong with me? Right? It can get a little shamey feeling because, we've got all this good stuff going on in our life. We're hitting goals. We have the relationship that we want. Our kids are healthy. We're healthy. We've got a little money in the bank. We've got a house. We've got a car. All our needs are met, more or less. Nobody's going to die tomorrow or today because, we're doing the things. Yet, why do I just feel like crap? And it's like, well, it's because you're trying to override 80% with 20% and you've been doing it for, I don't know, a lot of times decades, right? 10 years, 20 years, sometimes more. And it's such a huge shift when you start to investigate why your nervous system and the other 80% are responding the way that they are, right? And because like so many people do so much good work on their mindset. And, it's clear to me that there's a lot of good stuff out there. But working on mindset, again, that math doesn't help us. Even if you've done a really good job on that 20%, you need to figure out why your nervous system is responding the way that it is. Because if you just try to change your thoughts, you're only addressing 20% of the equation. So what's missing in most people's lives is that 80%, right? And it is freaking mind blowing when you find the right coach, you find the right resources, and you're able to start learning how to drop into that 80%. And guys, this is self control, self regulation 101. That is discovering and starting to learn how to work with that 80% that basically most of us have ignored for most of our life. And there's a very good reason why. Again, there's nothing wrong with you. They didn't teach us this stuff in school. This is all based off of cutting edge neuroscience that is now just beginning to be mainstream. I mean, dude, there are doctors and therapists and MDs and psych Ds that don't even understand this stuff. So again, there's no reason to beat yourself up for it. You know, everybody learns divine timing, the right thing when they're supposed to. But the other side of that coin is like this information has only become readily available to people in like the last couple of decades. And really in the last like 5-10 years has it really started to hit a stride. Um, so yeah, if you're wondering why change your thoughts to change your life or change your story to change your life hasn't worked, it's like once you understand the neuroscience and the nervous system, it's pretty obvious. And probably the, in my opinion, greatest gift you can give yourself. Once you learn this, it's like then you can show and teach your kids, right? And pass it on. It's like the biggest thing you could do to change the trajectory of your life and again your kids' life. So if this is something that you feel like you need support with, it's like, dude, this is my jam. So check the show notes. You can learn how to book a free call with me and learn more about coaching one on one. And hopefully this shed a little light on and helped de-shame, your feelings around change your thoughts and like why you just can't do that. And thanks again as always for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.